What is going on, guys? JC Needed here, and apparently federal workers are pissed that they have to go back to the office. Let's talk about it. But before we get into it, if you don't mind doing me a quick favor, if this is your second or more time tuning into one of my videos, feel free to give it a like and subscribe if you feel so too inclined, because it helps with YouTube algorithm. And with that, let's get into the video.
Let's start with this return to office nonsense. For years, government was fine with people working remote work. Now, suddenly, they're demanding everyone pack up their lives and get back to DC immediately. Not in a few months, not in a year, but now. If you moved out of state because you thought your job was actually remote, tough luck. You either uproot your life, somehow find housing in one of the most expensive markets in the country, or you quit. And guess what? If you leave, the government saves the money on your salary. So, mission accomplished, I guess?
So I want to draw a distinction really quickly, because I think there's a distinction between people who started off working in the office and went remote after 2020 or 21, I can't remember at this point, and those who were hired in fully remote positions to begin with. If you were hired in a fully remote position to begin with, and now they're asking you to come into DC and you lived in California your whole life, I think that's a little bit crazy. But if you were in the office to begin with and you just went home for a little while and now they're asking you back, I mean, hey, it does suck, but I think that's a little bit different. So, that's just those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section what you think.
Anyone who has experienced financial hardship, any kind of the mental duress, I'm sorry for them, but that's also what the average American experiences every day. Most of us, you all come to work, you want good ratings. You get a performance readout, you really push forward. And I can tell you that in Treasury, I have been so impressed with the quality of the permanent staff. And I want to get everybody back to the office. And a lot of people are on board with that.
So I don't know about you guys, but when I listened to him, it sounded as though he was implying, or though as though he feels that people who work from home don't actually work, because he kept saying return to work. He wants to get people back to work, not like, okay, you're working from home. I want to get you back into the office to continue working, but get you back to work. That's the first thing. And I noticed that tends to be a thing. Even for me, I work from home, and my parents might come by and they might say, hey, can you do this thing for me? I'm like, I'm working right now. And they think, oh, I forgot. Or sometimes they'll say, hey, when are you going back to work? I'm like, I work all day. I'm just working from my home office. So there seems to be this disconnect between people thinking that people who work from home don't actually work. The second thing he talked about was performance reviews. Again, so not only does he think people that work from home don't actually work, people that do work from home, he thinks they don't perform as well as those in the office. Now, I don't know if the numbers or the metrics states show that at the Treasury Department. Maybe they do, but he's making it sound as though those who get the better performance reviews are those people who actually work in the office. I am personally very effective and productive at home. Maybe that's just me, but like I said, let me know what you think.
Do need to go back to work, in my opinion, because everything's over now.
I don't necessarily think it's I think it's a political stunt.
Imagine how much money it's taking to actually run those buildings. No one's working there.
All right, really quickly, because there was three things there. The first guy was saying, again, go back to work, as if working from home is not valid work. And he said, things are over. I think what he's talking about is COVID. So in that sense, yes, things are over. That's what pushed a lot of people to work from home. I'll give him that. The second guy was talking about how he thinks it's a political stunt that Trump is doing to get people back to the office. And I don't know about a political stunt. I think that Elon Musk and Trump do have this mindset that if you work from home, you don't work as well, you're not as productive. I mean, think about it. Elon Musk used to sleep on the factory floor in the Tesla warehouse. He's all about being butts in seat, in the office. And the third guy was talking about how there's a lot of money being spent on office space. That is a big thing I've heard as a reason why they want to bring people back, is because a lot of money is being spent on these empty office spaces. Although it's ironic, or not ironic, it's interesting to me that that's the case, because I also see a lot of videos of people saying they're being asked to come into the office and they have nowhere to sit. So how on one hand you have all these vacant office space, but then when you bring people back, they have nowhere to sit. Don't necessarily get that, but let's continue.
This return to work effort is none other than DC's Democratic Mayor Muriel Bowser was cited several times over the last few years that the lack of federal workers in the nation's capital has hurt the local economy. And while some labor attorneys tell Fox 5 they expect lawsuits to try to stop the White House effort, Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen says he does have concerns about this one-size-fits-all approach.
So that's valid. They're saying that the local economy in the DC area is being hurt a bit because people are not working in the office in DC. I can kind of see that, but it also depends on how far away they live. If they still live within, 10, 15, 20 minutes of, you know, DC proper, I guess you could say, then they're still going to be going to shops, coffee shops, restaurants, events, plays, performances, different things like that. So they're still going to be contributing to the local economy. It's not just because they're not in the office, they're not going to do that. It's not as if everyone that works remotely for the federal government lives in different states or in states that are far away from DC. So, but nonetheless, I can see how that can be true. So the mayor has a point, you know, but again, is that a good enough reason to bring folks back? I don't know if you should bring them back to the office for the local economy. You should bring them back to the office if they are productive there and providing good value in the work that they're doing in the office. But again, that's just me. But it seems like people are upset about it. And from the other videos I've seen, these videos weren't really about people being pissed off, but it was more so about what's going on with this return to work push. But personally speaking, I do know people personally who have been affected by all the stuff that's going on with the federal government right now. And that includes returning to work forcefully all the way to being laid off, which obviously is the worst case scenario because now you don't have a job at all. So, not only are they pissed, they're upset, and that's a valid reason why. I mean, if you lose your job all of a sudden, I'd be pissed off too. Now, of course, you could say maybe they saw the writing on the wall. I don't know. But nonetheless, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. With the federal return push, we'll see how things keep playing out. I doubt that we're anywhere near it being done, and there's more to come. So we should all brace ourselves, especially if you're a federal employee. So with that being said, if you liked the video, please feel free to give it a like and to subscribe. And until next time, make smart financial decisions.